Hello and welcome to episode, actually I should open my blinds, hold on. Maybe I just start over. Hello and welcome to episode 73 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. My name is Michaeli, I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting, my crocheting, and my yarn dyeing. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. Today I have one finished object and I have 5 WIPs. And most of them are new. Actually, all of them except for my design from last episode are new. So let's just jump all into these. My finished object is my Night and Day Cowl. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry and it is a DK weight kind of bandana style cowl that you knit on the bias and then you seam it together at the end. I used 2 colorways from my shop. The black is Jane Margolis and the yellow is Hazmat Suit. And I just love how this turned out. I loved knitting it. It was very fun. I made the adult large for myself and I think it fits nicely. I wanted to use up a lot of my yarn and I didn't want to have a lot left over. And then also I didn't want it to be so snug up against my neck. Although I think like a little bit more snug would have been fine, but I actually really enjoy the way that this feels and fits. And I think it looks super cute. It's also in Steeler colors, so that is perfect. And I loved knitting it. This will also count as yards for the pigskin party that I am participating in on Ravelry. I'm on team 9. If you are participating and you're on a team, let me know which team you're on. I am trying to find my team members. I know most of the activity is over on Ravelry and I'm just not that active on Ravelry. But anyways, so this is my finished object and I absolutely loved knitting this. I don't remember if I said, but I used Swish DK from my shop. Yeah, I loved how it turned out and then making the slip stitches over the patterning is just so cool. And I love how it looks. So that's my, that's my finished object. Now I have a few WIPs that are all brand new. I did a whole yarn winding day and wound up a lot of yarn from my stash. I kind of went through things a little bit and decided I'm going to use up some of these skeins. So my first WIP that I'm going to share is in this bag, this cute little Bobas from Slip Sis. I will link down in the description box. All of my projects are down there, but I will also link to any of the products that I mention and the shops that I mention in my podcast. So if you're looking for anything specific, check in the description box beneath the video. Okay, so that's the bag, and this is holding a brand new WIP. Probably not to your surprise that I am knitting another classic ribbed hat. This is a free pattern on Pearl Soho's website, and I've just been obsessed with knitting it, to be honest. It's the perfect amount of rhythm for me to relax. I love the way that it fits and the way that it looks. So I am using 2 50-gram skeins of yarn that I had from the Purling Perry. Let's see, there we go. The Purling Perry. It's a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon, and they're 2 50-gram balls, 231 yards each, and these are a one-of-a-kind pink colorway. But yes, I am loving how this is knitting up. I also have a New Mexico stitch marker on there. This is from Happy, why do I never remember this? Happy They're from Happy Creative Studios. These were from the Enchanted Yarn Crawl. And so the one I have on there is my green New Mexico stitch marker. And that's marking my beginning of round. I am knitting this on a US 4 on my ChowGoo red lace interchangeable set. They're by far my favorite needle set. It's 3.5 millimeters. And I realized, I think, was it on my last hat, I was so confused why I was playing yarn chicken at the end. And it's because I'm using the wrong size needles, but I actually love the way that this size needle gives me this fit. It's only like it's a one size difference, I think. I think it calls for a 3 and I used 4. But I like the way that it fits, and I'm making the adult medium. Yeah, I'm making the adult medium classic ribbed hat. Can't go wrong with a simple pattern. My next WIP is in a zipper bag by Yellow Petal Handmade. I believe they are in Canada. And I, again, went stash diving. And I just thought these went really great together. And I immediately was like, this seems like it should be a grid gambit. So that's what I'm knitting. I have 2 contrasting skeins here. One is very brightly colored and one is much more tonal. And I thought these would make a perfect grid gambit. So I'm using the classic rose. It's a one-of-a-kind skein from Granite State Yarns. And then I am using Dance Dance by Wool and Vinyl. And I love how it's turning out. Let me show you. Trying not to make a huge mess here. So I am holding those together because it's a DK weight pattern. So I'm holding those. No, I'm not holding them double. I'm not holding them together. I'm holding themselves double. I'm not holding them together. That was incorrect. But so I just finished section 1 of the Grid Gambit. This is a pattern by Samantha Gurin. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct. But it's another bandana style pattern. And I just thought this would be really pretty in these colors. And I am obsessed with how they are knitting together and how they are working up. This is actually my second time starting this pattern. The first time I read the instructions incorrectly, and when I was knitting it, I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, this doesn't look normal or like everyone else's Grid Gambit. So then I went back to the instructions and reread it more carefully, realized my mistake, ripped it, started over, and now we are cruising. So I just finished section 1 and I will be moving on to section 2 soon-ish. These ones I'm using my Knit Picks interchangeable set. This is a size 7, 4.5 millimeter. And I like the Knit Picks set. They are a little bit more plasticky for the cables, and they don't have that, you know, the memory free, so they do get kind of like curly, but it's okay. When I have too many projects going, I just don't have enough cables and enough needles in my ChowGoo set to only use ChowGoo. So every once in a while I will use my Knit Picks ones, and I don't mind using them. They're a great affordable set if you can't afford a ChowGoo set, honestly. They're great too, and they stay nice and sturdy, put together. They're nice. I like them. They work great for projects. So yeah, so that's my Grid Gambit and my second WIP. This next WIP I have is in this Katie's Randomness bag, which is my little knitting footballs. And I love her bags. I would love to be able to buy more, but as time will tell. So pretty quickly after I finished my day and night cowl, my daughter asked if I could make her one, and she said she would love to have one in pink and purple. So I went stash diving into my already wound yarn actually, and so this is leftover stash, but it doesn't look like it at all. So I am making a night and day cowl for my daughter. And I've already started my decreases. I'm done basically almost the whole thing already. But isn't that so pretty? It's like so pretty. So she chose pink and purple, which is perfect because I had leftovers of Marie Schrader and Swish DK from a sweater I made for her a couple of years ago, and a holly white, and so I'm holding those to make this. Isn't that so pretty? I am just obsessed with this color combination as well. Oh, I can't wait. I'm almost done with it. I think I'm almost to the decreases, or to the bind off, if I'm not actually already at the bind off. And these ones I'm actually using my Knit Picks set again. And this is in a size 6, which is 4.0 millimeter. Sorry, it's upside down, so that's why it's taking me a little longer to read it. But yeah, so that's my daughter's night and day cowl by Andrea Mowry, just in little girl colors, which are amazing. And I'm gonna see, oh, I'm making her the small. I think there is a child size, and I just decided to make it a small because actually she tried the large on and it didn't seem like it was like so crazy that she could wear the large. So I just decided to make a small instead of the child size, just so she can wear it a little bit longer than if I were to make the child size. All right, I have, you've seen this last episode, is my design that I've been working on. I am still slowly working on it, and it's getting very lot of stitches, like very big. This is the Rail Yards shawl that I have been working on, and these are my Colorways Gray Matter and Wayfarer 515. We have 515 ribbon, technically, is the whole term, the whole colorway name. It's a design that I'm working on to mimic the Rail Yards windows that Walter White sits in front of. Last episode when I was editing and I kind of saw it backed up, I kind of wanted to see if I should add some thicker lines to like frame out the windows. So these are supposed to look like windows. And when I saw it further back, I kind of wanted those horizontal lines to be a little bit thicker on some parts to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So I have slowed down a little bit. I think I will probably still finish this as is, and then I may do like a swatch again with some more bolder horizontal lines as well, to see if I like the way that that looks a little bit better. But I could also put up a poll to see what people like, and I don't know exactly what that will do to the pattern as well. But I just want to kind of do my design due diligence on that and just make sure that I am totally happy with what I'm putting out into the world, and design wise as well. Like, I want to be happy with every single portion of it. And there's a part of me that's like, I know I've spent so much time like already knitting this, but like if I'm not 100% happy with it, then I should go back to fix that, don't you think? So even though, and I don't have any design deadlines. Like these are just my own designs out of my own head. So I think I'll finish this the way that it is, and then I may knit up another sample or like a swatch or something to see if I like those more bold horizontal lines as well. But would love to hear what you think down in the comments if you can see what I'm talking about, and if you agree with that or if you don't agree with that. Yeah, would love to know kind of your thoughts on that as well. Obviously, if I did that too, it would use up more of the gray a little bit faster. So I'm just trying to play with it. I just want to be completely and 100% happy with the design that I'm putting out, and I am happy with this, but I just feel like it could be a little bit better, and I don't want to put out something that I feel like I could have done a better job on the first time. So that's just where I'm at. I'm trying to be transparent in, you know, the designing process is a little bit unknown sometimes until you start knitting it. You don't always understand how it's going to relate to yarn. Even though you have like an idea in your head and you have an idea of what you want it to look like, it does not always translate exactly perfectly. So I'm just, you know, sharing the journey alongside what I'm doing. And I forgot to mention that this is in a Stolen Minutes bag. It's a zipper bag. Okay, I have one more WIP to share with you, and this is a mystery knit along from Joji Locatelli called the One Love Shawl. So if you are trying to avoid spoilers, I am going to show clue 1. So if you would like to avoid spoilers, I will put the timestamp down in the video so you can go to the next section without having to see the shawl, and it is a mystery. So if you are trying to avoid spoilers, again, just move on past. But this is in a bag from my friend Robin. She made these for me. And it's cute little chickens. And I am using one skein because it's called the One Love Shawl, so it uses one skein of yarn. This is sock fingering in the colorway Hank Schrader, and I finished clue 1, which came out on last Saturday. So on this coming Saturday it will be clue 2. But so here is clue 1. It is a crescent shaped shawl. I don't know if it goes like that, but so it's a crescent shaped shawl with some garter and some lace sections. And I'm using a marker from Mariposa Yarns. It's a butterfly, which means Mariposa, or which means Mariposa means butterfly. And because I have too many projects going on my needles at the moment, these are a try it set from Knit Picks that they sent me in one of my packages before. It's a size 7 4.5 millimeter. But yeah, so Joji Locatelli is doing a mystery knit along right now that is a shawl. I'm knitting it in Hank Schrader. I haven't actually knit a project with his colorway, so I thought this could be a perfect like fall shawl to make in his colorway, and hopefully have it done by the end of November. I also just released 2 brand new colorways into my shop. This one is Vominos Pest, and it goes with the Vominos Pest Control company that Walt and Jesse end up taking over to run their meth business inside houses that are being fumigated, and these are the colors of the tents that go over the houses. And then I also released Golden Moth, which is a front company for Madrigal. They provide Gus Fring with all of the methamphetamine ingredients by the barrel, and this is their logo for Golden Moth. So you can find these online at breakingyarn.com. And those are available on Sock Fingering, Swish DK, Sock DK, and Swish Worsted Weight Base. So I don't think I actually have any acquisitions to share with you this time. I am starting to get shipping notifications for a few advents that I ordered earlier in this year. I'm still trying to decide at what capacity I will share those. I haven't really had good luck doing the Vlogmas thing. And I think, I don't know. I just don't want to spend my time doing something that's not going to go anywhere, I guess, or do anything. I'm not sure. So I'm just trying to figure out in what capacity I can share my advents with you on kind of more of a daily type thing or a daily type basis, maybe in my stories on Instagram. Yeah, I'm not really sure. If you have some ideas on that, please let me know down in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 73 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time. Bye!